Welcome back. I'm here once again in nature. Once again, somewhere in between the two, man's creations and the natural vibration, the earth, of the earth, whatever you want to call it. Which actually brings me and relates very much to the topic of this video. The reality behind nature is what I'd like to talk about. When we talk about nature, when I'm talking about nature now, I'm speaking more about the ultimate truth. I'll also talk on the relative truth in this video to give some perspective when it comes to nature. But I really want to express a deeper reality that may offend some people, might trigger some people, and that's fine. So what is the reality behind nature? You see, the nature that you see around you in the form of trees, the smell you smell when you're out in nature, the sounds you hear of the birds, the wind moving the leaves, the trees are swaying back and forth. Relatively speaking, there's a subtlety that's not quite as obvious in our big cities. The pace to which a tree grows is much slower than the mad dash a man will take to become successful in life. The pace out here is much slower. Therefore, the mind doesn't see as many distractions and isn't pulled in as many, isn't pulled against many of its own beliefs. Therefore, the mind can quiet a little, and you can see the reflection of a deeper truth. You can see the reflection of the truth behind nature in you. You also become more of a reflection as well, on a relative sense. You see, we inhabit these bodies, and we have been given five senses for which to perceive the world around us. And relatively speaking, it is beautiful. Just taking it in for a minute. And with this body that we've been given, it includes aspects that are not so clear as far as the senses are concerned. They're not as loud as your senses are. So when you're out in nature versus out in the city, the senses can become overwhelmed in a city, especially if you don't like it, which is two sides of one coin, like and dislike, relative truth. And when you're out in nature, it seems as though nature is giving you something that you can't get in the city, among the busyness the hustle and bustle. But that is a lie, a straight up lie. And if you believe, here's where the anger is going to come in from many of the viewers. If you love nature, and so do I, if you believe that you can't find that same sense, that same connection to nature in the middle of a city, then you're stupid. You're blinded by your anger. You're blinded by your belief of how things should be in the world. You're blinded by your mind's story that says, I'm living this way and this is the right way. You're living this way and that is the wrong way. The mind is so clever, cunning, and a master when it comes to creating separation between groups of people, separation between different aspects of life, separation in general. And oftentimes when we choose one extreme over the other, it seems to give us a sense of purpose in life. We seem to have found some stable ground from which to live our lives on. And then we will surround ourselves with the things that fit within this I like nature bubble or fuck nature bubble success in the city. Not realizing that there's something beneath the whole thing. There's a reality behind everything you see here, everything you see here, this smartwatch on my wrist, the cell phone that I'm recording this video on. There's something beneath the whole thing that can make all of it possible. There's something beneath the whole thing that is there always. So in order to get deeper here, we need to think of terms of frequency and vibration. Scientists have found that in a space about the size of a square foot or a square meter, I can't remember exactly, that there's enough energy in what we think is empty space to boil the entire world's oceans. Just let that sink in for a second. There's enough energy in a square about the size of a foot or a meter square to boil the entire world's oceans. Regardless whether or not you're in the city or out here in nature, that is a reality. There's something that cannot be seen, touched, smelled, can't be experienced through the senses. It can't be agreed upon. It's not something you can like or dislike. The entire plethora of the human experience, it's beyond it. So when we look at the ultimate truth behind nature, these trees grow, if you will, because of a group of all different types of frequencies that are vibrating. And these frequencies create a song, if you will. And that song is the song of life. Have you ever watched videos on solfeggio frequencies? If you haven't, take a look. It might blow your mind. It did for me. the human body, every decision made by a human has this underlying frequency as a constant state, regardless anything that happens on the surface level of a person's life. So when you're choosing a side, nature or the city, you're really lost in your dream world. You're not in touch with reality at all. Because nature is not these trees. Nature is not the smell or the birds. Nature is what makes all that you see, hear, smell, all that you can sense through the human body and way beyond possible. It's the life force of everything that is in creation and also in the realm of not perceivable. So many people escape the city. And on a relative sense, that's great. It is. There's nothing wrong with that. That's your calling. That's where you're going. That's great. Many people run to the city. But that's two sides of the same coin. And again, only perpetuates war, separation. True happiness and peace can't be found by running from either of the two extremes we perceive in life. A person needs to go deeper and understand that there's no right and wrong in life. Find the middle ground, the middle point between the two extremes. Buddha called this the middle way. He called this the right way towards enlightenment, towards peace. Seeing the greater vision, the greater truth behind what your mind will attach to as right or wrong. Seeing that in every human being's life, the right and wrong are going to be relative to that person. And there is no such thing as one person who has the right way to live and knows the wrong way to live. Because for every person, that flux, that difference between us all is going to be in the different levels. You can never find the right way because there is no right way. So to be able to see past all of these illusions that your mind will create, if you really don't like life the way it is lived in society, in the city, you may need to look deeper into yourself and say that maybe I'm escaping. And in escaping, many people call this getting away or recharging. On the relative level, there's nothing wrong with surrounding your body with a frequency that is healing for it. But when you think that that healing frequency is not available wherever you are, you're not in touch with the ultimate reality of existence anymore. You're falling back into the realm of belief, which is what's generating all of the world's problems in the first place. Throughout the path to finding yourself, sometimes this is necessary, but can relatively become a block. It can become a block to which you refuse to see the greater truth behind the fact that whether you're a city person or a nature person, that those are only two extremes of a specific belief, two sides of the same coin. And everything in life really comes from a greater frequency underneath. So whether or not a person is wearing a smartwatch and it is causing damage to the human body, whether or not a person is feet in the mud and healing their body, those are only relative truths. You can wear a smartwatch and still be connected to that deeper reality that we all experience. You can have your feet in the ground and still not be connected to that deeper reality. Can you see the truth in those words? Let me repeat that. You can wear a smartwatch and still be connected to that deeper reality that connects us all. You can have your feet in the earth and still not be connected to that deeper reality that connects us all. And you can flip that around and have the truth as well. Wherever you are around the world, whatever time it is, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you. Peace.